Eid Mubarak. I had the privilege of living for 4 years in Malaysia. My best friends were Indian Muslims as well as Malay Muslims, and I was taught that we're supposed to celebrate Eid for a month. So you know what kind of lifestyle I came from. When it came to Eid, it was an opportunity to celebrate every single day at somebody else's house with wonderful food. So I was very happy and thankful that Brother Muhammad asked me to share in this celebration. Of course, we're in America, so I'm sorry, you guys. Other places in the world, they have great fun for the entire month. I am a 30-year academician. I've taught in 3 different countries. That's what I was doing in Malaysia. And I would say that what I do is something called human transformation. I do corporate training and other things, but I was fortunate enough to be called home to Wichita to take care of parents 10 years ago. And so I've been here in Wichita for some time, just kind of hanging out, doing my thing, going back and forth in and out of Africa, which I love. And very recently, I got like 65, and both of my knees went out with arthritis. So I was laying there one day and I was feeling real sorry for myself, and I said, I should be studying. What should I study? So I decided to go back for a second course, and this time it's in media psychology. Now, I will tell you that my first semester back in school started just before Ramadan. So I figured that this could not be that difficult since I'm supposed to be quiet and reflective. I want to tell you I have been tested in terms of my real knowledge. It's been a big challenge. But during this same period, I came into a serious awakening of why I am here. The story of my name, I was actually born Anita Maria Martinez, but I was given this name by one of the sons of Elijah Muhammad. It's Wakeelah, and depending upon what country you're in, it basically means manager, protector of women's rights and their goods. And I stood up in the mosque in Kansas City one day and said, I don't understand why the women are not getting 10 times what they spend on themselves. Isn't that in your Quran? So I made a big deal. Nobody wanted me to come back. And so he then asked me to his home for dinner, and he gave me my name, Wakeelah. So I have actually been living this name miraculously throughout my life. In my studies this semester, media psychology is actually looking at how the media in all forms really is used to help people psychologically. And so I became very interested in the use of what's being called digital storytelling to actually provide treatment to people for various reasons. And one of the ways in which digital storytelling is currently being used is in different refugee camps to help women especially find themselves again, basically, go through their healing. It's a form of treatment for many people now. And so I decided to share with you this evening one of the projects that I had a chance to look at this semester, and it was looking at the refugee women who come into these various countries. And oh yeah, by the way, do you guys remember the Atlanta situation in Atlanta when the water came in and everybody lost their homes? Do you remember that? Well, all of a sudden, people who were born in this country were noted as refugees. So I want you to understand that a refugee is not necessarily a person that comes from another country. At any point, you can be labeled that in America. And so they decided to use this digital storytelling process on women. And by the way, in most countries and in many of the camps, especially that's what's going on in Boko Haram and also in Syria today, there is no real psychiatric treatment that is being given to the multiple numbers of women who find themselves in this kind of trauma. So this particular piece was done with women who were in refugee camps in Canada from about 3 different countries, but most of them were actually from Syria. And so they used music, and that's why I'm using music tonight, to help to allow a person to remember themselves. And if you've been looking at recent studies, they found that people with Alzheimer's, if you play the music from their earlier years, they remember everything about their life. All of a sudden, it just comes to them. So they decided to use music to help these women in their journey. And so I wanted to share with you some of the poetry that came out of this experience. The first set is from when the women began their treatment, and music was used to stimulate this poetry and this writing, as well as in the middle of the treatment, and then in their final overcoming the barriers of trauma. So,
oh, my mom, love my kids.
Commercial. Very lucky because you have very many beautiful memories. Yes, of course, I have many beautiful memories. I am lucky, but I am not. I lost them all on the same day. If you see the empty side of the bottle, you can never be happy. I am trying to see the other side, but I am living my past because I cannot think anything about my future. Future is endless. It's sad. My future is empty. I don't want to go there. I don't want to have that memory right now. It is very painful to remember something that was extremely good and beautiful, but happened. It is very painful to remember something that's very difficult. I tried to think of something, but I couldn't think of anything. I just felt my head was very heavy. And it started to hurt. And it still hurts. And I'm afraid. I have a fear of losing my parents. I feel that I am alone because they are dead. And I am worried because my children are coming after all these years. And I don't know. I am afraid. Transition story. Dealing with loss, those painful memories make my life rich and painful. Those painful memories make my life rich and same time make my life painful. Yes, both of those things. I have experienced many meaningful moments here, and well, most of the time I was thinking about my mom and the fear that I have of losing her, and especially when the other women were talking about those people that they lost. If she can deal with it, I can deal with it too. It was meaningful in that way when music started. It was like an extremely full life. I don't have to tell yourself when I don't feel fear anymore. When I don't feel nervous anymore, then I will live. I live right now, the fullest. I feel some amount of pain, homesick. I'm exhausted, tired. I have some fears, and at the same time, I have hope. It's all happening at the same time, and it's all true. It's my life, and I can claim ownership of that. It is my life. Liberation. With people, with God, with light, I need peace. a country road, green around this. I saw a road just right now. I don't know what is end of road or between road. I don't know right now. Just road, just road. Just when I closed my eyes, I saw a road. I am in the road, I am in the road. Not straight road. Finally, I will reach something, but I don't know right now. Happiness or sadness? It seems calm, that road. It's like very, very peaceful and calm way that you are going peace with people. It's like very peaceful and calm with people, with God, with light. I need peace.